Hey team, Melissa from Melissa vs. Fibromyalgia here. So, several years ago, I wrote the post, What Works For Me, 9 Things to Fight Fibromyalgia. And it is a pretty popular post. And I thought maybe, given how far I'd come in my healing journey, I'd see what on this list I'd keep or what I'd change, or basically just how I would write the post now, knowing everything that I know now after several years of pretty intensive research and personal trial and error, and starting to work as a coach. So the 9 things that were on the original list are still a pretty good list, and it would be a really good place to start if you are looking at ways to manage fibromyalgia or chronic pain and fatigue. So we have reduced work hours. That's what really kicked things off for me. That was my baby step into pacing. So I slightly reduced my work hours, which made enough of a dent in the pain and fatigue and brain fog to help me start my research and my progress. The next thing was supplementation, physiotherapy, sleep, reduced activity levels, meditation, exercise, pain management techniques, and hope. It's a pretty good list, but you'll probably notice that I obviously didn't know that much before, so things like reduced work hours and reduced activity levels are basically just pacing. So I've learned a lot since then. What I have learned, and I've kind of created a framework of my understanding, and so there's 6 key areas to fight fibromyalgia and chronic pain and fatigue, and that's what I use to inform my coaching, my membership program, my micro courses, and everything that I write and give in videos and talk about in the groups. It all comes down to these 6 key things, and these are what I have tackled myself. So number 1 is knowledge and taking control for ourselves. I believe that the people who will make the most difference to our quality of life is ourselves. We have the power every single day to make a lot of choices. Number 2 is sleep. Number 3 is perpetuating factors. Number 4 is central nervous system. 5 is fatigue and pacing, and 6 is pain relief. So the first 5 are really kind of holistic, whole of life, big things that will take some time. Pain relief, we need it right now while we're waiting for all those things to figure themselves out. So those are the 6 key things. Those are all of the different areas that we need to really tackle if we're going to get anywhere in this journey. So what specifically is working for me right now? The number 1 thing is sleep. And I hypothesized for a long time if I could get some sleep, it would make a huge difference. And I would get so frustrated because my doctors didn't want to help me, and I tried all the things. And then I found low-dose naltrexone. And it took me from sleeping in 1-hour blocks to sleeping in 2, 3, 4, or 5-hour blocks. So now I think that what I'm doing is achieving sleep cycles, which is really amazing. I've had such flow-on effects. And so the next the next key area is pain management. So aside from sleep and physiotherapy, I do a lot of stretching and self-trigger point work and yoga, meditation, essential oils, use my clay heat pack and more. I employ a lot more natural remedies than medicinal, but then low-dose naltrexone, which is just number 1 on my list. This covers sleep and pain management. So basically the flow-on effect of getting the sleep is that I have less pain, less anxiety, less brain fog, more health, and a better quality of life. So many things have fallen into place. So for low-dose naltrexone and sleep, and then getting off amitriptyline, thanks to the low-dose naltrexone, I have lost weight. I didn't have a lot to lose, but I have lost weight and I've come back to a really good equilibrium. I am keeping my iron levels up. I am obviously feeling better. I'm getting less colds and less bugs. So when the kids come back sick, I'm not really getting many of them, whereas before I used to get everything. So there's just so many flow-on effects. My body, I believe, is just coming back into a place of balance, and it's naturally starting to learn to heal itself now that I am sleeping, thanks to low-dose naltrexone. The next thing under pain management is physiotherapy. So this is still crucial. It's kind of evolved. My understanding of it has evolved over time. So learning about myofascial pain syndrome and the fact that these trigger points that recur has been really important. And so we put the dry needles into the trigger points, leave them still to encourage blood flow, and then the physio will do some neck tractions and stretching. And then I go home and use my heat pack to really solidify the effects. So now I only go every 3 or 4 weeks. Before I had to go 1 or 2 weeks, which is a humongous win because I have to pay privately. So not only is that a lot of money, but it's a lot of time. And as a mama, I don't have a lot of that. So that's been really important still. And pacing. So the next key area is pacing. It's working within my current energy envelope, which has increased, obviously, with more sleep and with the low-dose naltrexone, but I still have to stay within it. I still have a carefully constructed box that I live within, and it is totally worth it. So yeah, that's really important, and I encourage you to work on that. And whatever your pacing looks like now, it might not look the same in 6 months or 12 months, and so you do need to be aware that it will change, and it can go up and down. And perpetuating factors are normal human needs. So we are human beings first and foremost, and our bodies need to be nourished, they need to move, they need a lot of things. But also those perpetuating factors. So for me, managing the myofascial pain syndrome and the fibromyalgia is very important. I manage my posture, I avoid triggers, I sleep as best I can. At the moment, I'm learning a lot about nourishment. I haven't finalized a template as such for how I eat, but at the moment I am really trying to increase my vegetable and fruit intake to 6 to 8 servings a day, because the number one thing I've found in the research is prioritize fruit and vegetables. The next thing I'm doing is prioritizing healthy fats and good quality protein. By prioritizing all these good things, I'm naturally not consuming the less good things, because I don't have the energy or the time to make food a battleground. I have 3 kids, 5 and under, and I am, blogging and growing a coaching business. I do not have time to fight with my food. So that's where I'm at with that at the moment, but I'm continually researching. I'm also using magnesium and 5-HTP to help me sleep. And I supplement with MSM because in New Zealand, our soils are deficient in sulfur, and that seems to help with pain relief. I also prefer whole foods over just supplements. So for example, I love moringa powder, which has a lot of nutrients and vitamins and amino acids, which is really great for boosting energy, especially as a nursing mama. And gentle exercise. So this is just so key. And after more than a year of severe pelvis issues in my last pregnancy and inability to walk very far at all or use those muscles, I'm slowly building them back up. I can now do 30-minute walks without what I call a pain hangover. And I'm building up my yoga again. I'm at about 15 minutes every couple of days, because all of those muscles need to strengthen again. And what's happening is I'm flaring up some kind of latent trigger points as well. So I'm having to work really carefully on it, but it's still vital. Our bodies need to move in whatever way we're able to move. And the central nervous system. The central nervous system is so important. The more research that comes out, the more it looks like fibromyalgia is predominantly a central nervous system disorder. Meditation has just become crucial to my life. At first, I was literally only using it to rest. I have meditated every day for more than 5 years because I can't nap and I'm up with the babies in the night. I need that rest in the middle of the day. It can also help with pain relief and stress relief. I mean, there are so many benefits to it, but the first thing I used it for was rest. I can't even tell you how amazing it is to have that profound rest. That feeling of lying there after a 30-minute yoga nidra meditation, and that rest in my body and my brain, and that sense of comfort. I have never been able to get it any other way or replicate it any other way. It is just the most amazing thing to have such a sense of quiet in my body. And you will know that as someone with fibromyalgia or chronic pain and fatigue, that quiet is very hard to achieve. But what I've been learning is that meditation helps calm the central nervous system overall. So I'm having a lot less anxiety. I'm having a lot less pain. When things are stressful, I'm able to calm myself down. And so it's really pervaded my life, which is obviously why I have included it in my coaching options and why I have learned about it so that I can also teach other people about it. I'm so passionate about it, and that central nervous system really is key, and it's taken a long time. So don't think it's, start meditating today, feel better tomorrow. It's taken me more than 5 years, but it is, something you can learn little by little every day and practice. So these are the key things that are working for me right now. I know that it is complex. It's taken me a lot of years of research and personal trial and error to figure it out. If you, I'll leave a link below to the blog post so that you can go through all of the links I provided in the post so that you can look into the areas you would like it to look into. I'll also leave a link because you can get in on my You versus Fibromyalgia free micro course, which goes through 6 key areas to help you fight fibromyalgia. If you like these videos and you like learning about how to fight fibromyalgia, hit like and subscribe. Give me a comment below. Let me know what are your key things that help you fight fibromyalgia. Let me know if you use any of these things that I have shared, or if you are curious about one of those areas, head on over to melissaversusfibromyalgia.com. It's highly likely I've written about it. And if you would like to have a complimentary chat to see if coaching with me to help you work through any of these areas or all of these areas is something you would like to do, then you can request your form at melissaversusfibromyalgia.com. I really hope that this has helped you, and I hope to talk to you again soon. Bye.